what are you doing up? Or maybe watch us in the day. But it's late right now. I just got back from quarters. You know, the old speakeasy down the road from my apartment in Old Town. They had open mic night, so I said fuck it. I don't know what you're thinking. Wizzo, you can't sing. But, I got a little bit going on here. I even got a single with Deadlock Records. I mean, shit, Joe Pesci did it, why can't I? Go fuck yourself. Maybe I'll even put it up on this video platform, wherever I'm putting this fucking show. It's late, and I'm tired as shit, but I figured you still wanted to hear what was going on in my life. So, yesterday I was headed out of the office to grab a bite to eat for lunch. They got a great upscale restaurant in Uptown, called All You Can Meats. I've been there 3 times a week for the last 2 months. Now don't get me wrong, their sandwiches are great, but the real reason I go there is to hang out and chat with the owner on her breaks. Her name's Cordelia. She's a friend of mine, and I've been sweet on her for a while, and today was the day I was going to ask her out. You know, for dinner. But she's beautiful, and I don't mean, oh, look at that woman, she's a looker. I mean, this woman looks like Rita Hayworth had a baby with Lana Turner, and that baby grew up to have an ass that made dreams come true, and tits that were made to sleep on. And god damn it, when she smiles, she makes the hair on my nuts stand up. And yeah, she was human. Sorry, I'm getting off track. She was gorgeous is the point, and I was gonna ask out. As I started to lock the door behind me to leave, the fucking phone rang. I said hello, and the guy asked if I was Wizzo. I'm like, yeah, of course it's me. No shit, it's me. You call Wizzo. Wizzo answers the damn phone. The guy was a cop from Midtown Police Department. The cop was saying that he just found a body in a freezer from an anonymous tip that was called into the police station. They think it might be that millionaire who went missing a couple of weeks back. The cop said he had gotten my name from a friend at the department and that they were understaffed. What the fuck else is new? He said the Midtown Police Department would pay twice my rent. I figured $200 an hour, that ain't bad. And a dead millionaire in a freezer? That shit was right up my alley. So lunch with Cordelia had to wait, which sucked. But money is money, you know? I drove to the scene of the crime, and I was immediately struck by the eerie-ass atmosphere. The apartment was quiet. Everybody was whispering, like talking in a normal voice was gonna wake the dead guy up or some shit. The freezer was in the middle of the room, and the body was still inside. There was no furniture at all in the apartment. In fact, the apartment wasn't even being rented by anybody. The dumbasses at the scene filled me in on what they knew. The victim was, in fact, a millionaire. He was a man in his late 40s by the name of Alfred Clifton. He was a successful businessman. He also happened to be the heir of Clifton Technologies. It was some tech and science company that was founded back in the 30s by his great-grandfather. He also happened to have a net worth of over $600 million. Alfred had a wife and 2 kids, both in the early 20s. They seemed devastated about the death and had no idea why anybody would want to kill him. But don't they all say that? I asked him about his business dealings and if he had any enemies, but they said they couldn't think of nobody that would want to kill him or even have a motive to do so. After talking to his family, I went through Alfred's financial records. The business was doing pretty good, and he had a bunch of investments in several different companies all over the city, including the biggest film production company in Deadlock City, by the name of Midtown Pictures. They make all the big movies here. But something did catch my eye. I noticed there was a $50,000 withdrawal from the account a few days before he went missing. The money had been wired to an offshore account in Malta, so I followed the money. I contacted an old friend in the banking industry to help me track down the owner of the account. I found out it belonged to a man by the name of Edward Shores, who went by the street name Eddie Diamond. I knew Eddie pretty well. He was a well-known con man and a jewel thief from Slum Village. He used to hang out at quarters, you know, the old speakeasy in Old Town. He was also involved in a lot of high-profile cases, but most of the people in Old Town and Midtown liked Eddie. He really only did his business in Uptown, you know, where the rich, snobby fuckers live. So I dug a little deeper, and I found out good old Alfred had been laundering money for Eddie. Alfred had been caught in a sting operation, and he was going to flip on Eddie by testifying against him in court. So I went to the Midtown Police Department, and I gave him all the information I had. A couple of cops less than arrested Eddie Diamond. When they got to Eddie's house, they kicked in the door, and Eddie was slumped over in a fucking chair in the middle of the living room. No furniture around. Just a hole in his head from a .32 caliber revolver laying next to the floor. Poetic justice, I guess. I'll see you around. Oh yeah, and I called Cordelia this morning and asked her out. We're having dinner tonight. I gotta get ready. So I'll see you around.